So let's continue then. Number 10. One who prays and later found that there had been excrement in a place where he had prayed. If that place was one where it was reasonable to suspect that perhaps excrement would be there, and he was negligent and did not check the area before praying, since the Shmona Esrei prayer in the is a place of sacrifice, the rule that relates to the sacrifice apply. The offering of the wicked is abomination. So it's very clear, right? It's Mishle. And it is not acceptable by HaShem. So basically they say, if it was reasonable to suspect that it would be excrement if you have small children there, for example, right? So commentary number 40 says, there is within the 4 amos of the place where he prayed. So basically, the way I understand what it says here, so it did not smell. It not smell. If it would smell, he would realize that there is bad smell. So it did not smell. So but it was there. Very, very close to him. Okay, and 41, for example, it was placed frequent by young children who often dirty their surroundings. Okay, no problem. So today maybe they do not dirty as much, but still they young children can take their diapers off very simply, right? And they can leave it there, whatever, lying on the floor, under the bed, or whatever they left them. So, and if he had the reason to suspect, but in this case he would have the reason to suspect, so his prayer, Shmona Esrei, is not acceptable. So basically, not acceptable, meaning that it was abomination, it's like a sacrifice, so he has to pray it again. Okay. According to the prayer, recited improperly, out of negligence, and is not accepted. He must therefore repeat Shmona Esrei prayer. Right? So that's like a punishment for him in some sense, because the first Shmona Esrei was said in vain, so he has to repeat it. Likewise, with respect to recitation of Shema, which is a biblical obligation, so Shmona Esrei is rabbinical, this is biblical obligation, and does not entail question of reciting blessing in vain. Okay, he must repeat the recitation of Shema if excrement was found, but without accompanying blessing, such as Achava Rabbah or Achava Salam. So basically, when we say Shema, we have blessings before, blessings after. So in this case, if he prayed in such a place, so he repeats the Shema, but he's not obligated to recite the blessings. So what is the difference? The Shema is biblical and blessings are rabbinical. That's commentary. So it says, and he does not does not entail question of reciting blessing in vain. 42. Since the Shema itself does not contain any blessings. So in Shema there is only text. There is no blessings. Right? Okay. So let's do one more time this commentary. So he must repeat the recitation of the Shema if excrement was found. 43. This accordance with the rule of, in any case of the doubt as to the existence of the biblical obligation, we must treat it stringently. So that's the rule. If, as we said before, if we have a doubt about biblical obligation, we go stringently, meaning that we would need to repeat it. Right? One classic example would be Birchas Hamazon, right? So if he said Birchas Hamazon, or he was not sure, did I not say it, stuff like that. I mean, I'm not sure how it's happened, but possible, a person under the stress, whatever is it. So in this case, he's obligated to recite Birchas Hamazon. But because it's biblical, but if he ate apple and time passed, and he was not sure did they say blessing after apple or not. So since it is rabbinical, he does not repeat. Okay. Continue. So he repeats Shema, but without accompanying blessing, such as Achava Rabbah, which in the morning of Achava Solam. Okay, it's before the Shema. So it says 44, the blessing after Yishtabach that are recited before Kriya Shema from Yotzer Or until Gal Israel. Okay, so basically we don't say these blessings, are known as Birchas Kriya Shema. The blessing Kriya Shema, according to Mishnah Brura, however, one is required to repeat those blessings as well. Okay, so Kitzur Shulchan Aruch says do not repeat. Mishnah Brura, which was later, so he concluded repeat with the blessings. Okay, so the bottom line is we go by Mishnah Brura. So he considered many sources. Okay, so we trust him. Okay, so continue. The same applies also with regard to all of the blessings that were recited where excrement was found. Even Berchas Hamazon, he does not recite it again. Okay, so one more time. The same rule applies with regard to all of the other blessings where the excrement was blessings that were recited, where excrement was found. Even Berchas Hamazon, he does not recite again. So what does it mean? Although it is biblically mandated blessing, okay, does not recite number 46. Tosafos to Irumim 64a and Rosh, unsure whether the blessing recited in the presence of the fields, excrement, that one negligently did not look for must be repeated. Okay, so according to these authorities, the Tosafos and Rosh say do not repeat. Okay, very nice. Shema is repeated in such a case because there is no question of reciting blessing in vain. So, okay, so they say in a case of the Birchas Hamazon, so it's after we eat bread, so there are blessings for sure. Here in a Shema, there are no blessings. But okay, let's finish and explain. Blessing, however, are never recited in case of the doubtful obligation, and therefore they are not repeated. See Mishnah Brura, Biur Halachah, Mishnah Brura rules. However, that the blessing of the Shema are recited again in such a case. Okay. Regarding the other blessing, see Mishnah Brura with Biur Halachah. So basically, Mishnah Brura says, so you say Shema, so they say on Birchas Hamazon, you do not say, but Shema you say, and Shmona Esrei you also repeat. So even though there are blessings in Shmona Esrei, Shmona Esrei, looks like this blessing, so the Shmona Esrei, as we said, is instead of daily sacrifice. So basically, if he did not bring daily sacrifice, he has to bring. So it's not exactly, Shmona Esrei is not exactly comparable to Birchas Hamazon. So Birchas Hamazon we're not obligated to say. So we only obligated to say Birchas Hamazon only when we ate bread. But daily sacrifices we are obligated to bring. So that's basically the difference. If, however, it was a place where there was no reason to suspect that there would be excrement there, for example, they don't have small children, in which case he was not negligent in praying there, or no small children, not elderly people, right? And then even with respect to the prayer, he was fulfilled his obligation after the fact. Okay, so basically, if there were no reason for him to suspect that it would be this excrement in a room, and there were, I'm not sure, maybe somebody visited that his house and he was not there, and they had a couple, and they changed the diaper, and somehow the diaper fell on the floor. It's possible. It's possible. There was no reason for him to suspect, and he did not smell it, but he prayed next to the diaper. So basically, he's good after the fact. Okay. Because one more time, it was no reason for him to suspect. If urine was found in a place where he prayed, even if the place was one of which there was a reason to suspect that urine would be found there, he has fulfilled his obligation after the fact with respect to the prayer. So urine, as we said before, is not as offensive as excrement. Okay. So even if it was there, and it was a reason to suspect, he does not repeat his prayers. Okay, no problem.